Christina Universe Citizen presents In the Beginning, October 17, 2023. The Synergetics Model of Equanimity. The Synergetics model of equanimity is the vector equilibrium. Therefore, the concept equanimity and unity ought to precede subsequently taken steps wherever forming a more perfect union is consciously underway. Such an anticipatory design, science, democracy, governing system perpetuates the peace-loving mind of our humanity, whether consciously acknowledged or foreshadowed by the superimposed PRJWBCHM fear-engendering, self-serving, divisive factions. It is the matrix that perpetuates inherited ignorance and cultivates incurious resignation. Incurious resignations inhibit awareness distribution of differently initiated, potentially realized omnirational realities. Either way, humans are educated to refer to a book of knowledge, even as the content of those books omit the concept of eternally total cosmic knowledge, intellect, and wisdom. TLBSWME, the acronym, is a quick reminder of the context: truth, love, beauty, symmetry, wisdom, maximum economy. Such a context parameter is of the mind of universe, its totality of comprehensive comprehension. Eventually, humans of a mind, the mind of universe, can anticipate the results of it in newly acquired awareness of the sublime equation, 0 equals 0 of absolute perfection. Synergetics 311.15. Until humans everywhere on Earth imagine commencing our local considerations and explorations with conceptual scenario universe, how can any of us intelligently begin to recognize the finite, non-unitarily, non-simultaneous, consciously induced, synergetic, energetic systems of the eternal mind? It is from the eternal mind that everything in generalized principle is designed, deriving thus as our individual metaphysical intellect and physical brain learns of it. Our mammalian species is designed by the eternal all-knowing mind to evolve beyond the previous generation, as every generation of humans on Earth is born with a brain and a mind to coexist knowledgeably, concerning the physical and the metaphysical environments in universe. All of us are born into families tracing back to our ancestral roots. Many of us migrate elsewhere on Earth as others continue repopulating the ancestral homeland. Such procreation gives birth to the newest generation of like-minded expectations induced by ingrained beliefs in what they value as a way of life. Culturally, they support that way of life as an inescapable sense of belonging that is closest associated with traditional agreements to abstain from differently conceived considerations that dare to challenge the way of life. The long-established beliefs and histories in books alluding to the heroic details from whence newest generations are said to derive. In that entire information gathering, local problem solving, data processing, the individual human intellect's metaphysical mind has yet to be acknowledged as a life support essential. Physical experience in time measurable interrelationships is the trusted system's life support on Earth. Since then, though, we are learning that metaphysical and physical are two kinds of life support on planet Earth. By omitting awareness of the metaphysical, humans tend not to reasonably suppose that there is an omnisciently designed physical, metaphysical, cosmic accounting system. To make matters more complicated is the governmental constitution that protects the rights of the belief systems while unwittingly preventing consciousness evolution's physical, metaphysical, cosmic accounting system from omniconsiderate integrative inclusion. Nevertheless, integration does discreetly control the coordination of all complex interactions. But the delay is critical to the essential equanimity experiences during everyone's whole lifetime on Earth. Words are essential inventions for clarifying conceptualities of our anticipatory realities. The word that expresses the integrative, disintegrative balance we have longed to know since learning of the vector flexor jitterbug and the vector equilibrium. In Buckminster Fuller's Synergetics dictionary, the word is omni-equilibrium. Logically and in part, it derives from librium, that represents the degrees of freedom. Omnilibrious universe is omnilibrious because it accommodates all the degrees of freedom. We know these motion freedoms as axial rotation, orbital rotation, inside-outing, torque, expansion, contraction, precession. However, omnilibrious, according to Buckminster Fuller, means that we do not have to use degrees of freedom anymore. Apparently, since the sphere is the convex vector equilibrium and the spaces between is the concave vector equilibrium, or in its contractive form, is the octahedron. Then, our conceptual, reasoning, anticipatory design, science, most economical way a system can behave relative to unity and self in universe, and cogitating reliably in respect to equilibrium while formulating conceptualities of a more perfect union. Metaphysical intellect can go from a 20-ness to 4-ness, a 5-fold contraction. Coincidentally, this is as pulsars and stars go to dwarfs, 5-power acceleration. In the jitterbug, as we can experience with hands on experimental know-how, the know-what we previously had no consciously coordinated awareness of, which show that it does not rotate, but the equator does. On the other hand, if our hands hold the equator and contract the system, it forces the axis to twist, throwing a torque as a 20-to-1 leverage. The vector flexor model contracts thus until it becomes the tetrahedron. How utterly refreshing it is also to know that this is the way galaxies interpulsate. The nebula plunge through zero and become negative, as it turns out. In it, invisible, the black hole. Admittedly, this is superficial, newly acquired knowledge that soon enough correlates to forming a more perfect union, simply because we now also know of the sublime 0 = 0 equation of absolute perfection, found in the Synergetics book of knowledge. Now, whenever we recall that zero pulsation in the vector equilibrium is the closest approach humans will ever know to eternity and God, Yom, as we also recall that the equanimity model is the vector equilibrium, that in both the metaphysical and physical universe share the same design, we have a conceptuality for the geometry of our individually inspired thinking. This is as systemic thought interaccommodate clarity without also having to carry over into our succeeding generation the weighty burdens imposed on our consciousness evolution propensities from the onerous past. To be continued in the beginning 21. Reference Synergetics 311.15, Synergetics 326, Universe as Metaphysical and Physical, Vector Flexor Fold of Form, the Jitterbug. Contact Christina Universe Citizen at gmail.com. Thank you.